Ajurrumiyyah, lesson number 14. In the previous lesson, we were discussing التوابع, those words that follow the declension of previous words. We have already discussed النعت, which is the adjective, and العطف, which is the conjunction. Ibn Ajurrumiyyah rahimahullah now moves on to التوكيد. هذا باب التوكيد. This is the chapter of التوكيد, which means emphasis. So here we can pronounce this with توكيد, which is what is in the metin, and you can also say تأكيد with a hamza after the ta instead of a waw, and they both mean the same thing. أكد means قوى, so تأكيد means تقوية, it means to strengthen something. So these are words that are used to strengthen the meaning of a previous word. التوكيد, التوكيد emphasis, تابع follows, للمؤكد follows what is emphasized, في رفعه in its being nominative, ونصبه accusative, وخفضه genitive, وتعريفه and definite. In other words, it follows the mu'akkad, what is emphasized in terms of this declension and definitiveness. Now, there are two types of ta'kid, emphasis, in Arabic. Ibn Ajurrumiyyah rahimahullah in the metin only talks about one of those types. He only mentions one of them. So the two types are lafzi and ma'nawi. Lafzi means that they just repeat the same word to emphasize the same meaning. So if you say, for example, ja'a zaydun zaydun, Zayd came, then that would be tawkid al-lafzi, and the emphasis that uses the same utterance in emphasizing the meaning of the previous word. Or you could say ja'a Zayd, Zayd came, and that would be tawkid of the verb. So that is tawkid al-lafzi. Ibn Ajurrumiyyah in the metin does not talk about that. All the examples he gives are examples of tawkid al-ma'nawi, when the same word is not used to emphasize the previous word. وَيَكُونُ بِأَلْفَاظٍ مَعْلُومَةٍ, it exists, it occurs, meaning tawkid occurs. The yakunu, the isim kana, is damir mustatir. Huwa, that goes back to tawkid. It's the hidden pronoun he that goes back to tawkid. So the tawkid, the emphasis, occurs, exists, بِأَلْفَاظٍ مَعْلُومَةٍ, with known words. And remember that he was writing this for Arab children, so that's why he says ma'luma, because they would already be familiar with these words from their native knowledge of Arabic. وَهِيَ النَّفْسُ, and that is the word nefs. If you say جاء زيد نفسه, Zayd himself came. وَالْعَيْن, with the same meaning, جاء زيد عينه, Zayd himself came. وَكُلْ, all. وَأَجْمَعُ, all together. وَتَوَابِي أَجْمَعَ, and the followers of أجمع. أجمع is going to be غير منصرف, because it has the wazn of a fi'l, the morphological scale of a verb, and then it is a adjective, so that's why it's غير منصرف. وتوابي أجمع, وهي, and they are اكتأ, the word اكتأ, وابتأ, وابسع, and ابسع. In tuhfa siniya, Muhammad Muhyiddin Abdul Hamid's commentary on Al-Muqaddimah al-Ajurrumiyyah. This last one, Ebsa'u, is misspelled as Ensa'u, so that is a mistake as far as I know. That should be corrected. The word is Ebsa'u, not Ensa'u. Now these last three that he mentioned will not be used independently. They will only be used after the word ejma'u to further emphasize it, and their usage is quite rare. Taqulu, you say, Qama Zaydun nefsuhu, Zayd himself got up, stood up. Wa ra'aytul qawma kullahum, I saw the men, all of them. In classical Arabic, qam refers to men. Wa ra'aytul qawma kullahum, I saw the men, all of them. Wa marartu bil qawmi ajma'in, and I passed by the men, all of them. So these are some examples that Sheikh Ibn Ajurrum provided. The example from the Quran al-Karim is, one example is فَسَجَدَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ كُلُّهُمْ أَجْمَعُونَ, which is repeated twice in the Quran al-Karim, in Surah al-Hijr, ayah number 30, and Surah As-Sad, ayah number 73. فَسَجَدَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ كُلُّهُمْ أَجْمَعُونَ. There we have two tawkid. The first one is كُلُّهُمْ, and the second one is أَجْمَعُونَ. The angels, all of them, all together prostrated. The angels, all of them, all together, did sajda to Adam, ala rasulina wa alayhi salam. So here we have the word malaika that is first emphasized by kulluhum, and that is again further emphasized by ijma'un. So the grammarians and the exegetes, the mufassirun, say that the subtlety in the ayah is that al-malaika is a plural, and it has the general meaning, the angels, meaning all the angels. But when we say the angels, it is conceivable that some of them might be excluded. So by saying kulluhum, this possibility of taksis is discarded, and then ejma'un discards or negates the possibility of the angels performing sajda at different times. So the angels, all of them, not just some of them, all of them did sajda to Adam alayhi salam, and they did it all together, not separately. فَسَجَدَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ كُلُّهُمْ أَجْمَعُونَ. Next we have Babul Badal, and this is Hada Babul Badal. This is the chapter of apposition. Apposition, Badal in Arabic literally means a substitute, but it's basically a word that follows another word that refers to the same meaning and explains or identifies the meaning that is expressed by the previous word. For example, when in English, if you say Washington, the first president, did such and such, the first president of the United States did such and such, the word the first president is in apposition with the name George Washington. So that's how it is used in English. And we're gonna obviously talk about Arabic, but it's the same idea. إذا أبدل اسم من اسم, if one noun is substituted for another, أو فعل من فعل, or a verb for a verb, تبعه في جميع إعرابه, it will follow it in all of its declensions, as he mentioned previously. If it's in the nominative, the badal will be nominative. It is in the accusative, the badal will be in the accusative. If it's in the genitive, it will be in the genitive, and likewise for the moods of the verbs. وهو على أربعة أقسام, and it is upon, the substitute, the apposition, is upon four types, four categories. بدل الشيء من الشيء, the substitute of the thing for the thing. Sometimes this is also called بدل الكل من الكل, that substitute of the whole for the whole. وبدل البعض من الكل, the substitution of some for the whole. وبدل الاشتمال, the substitution of containing. That means that the relationship between the badal, the word that is in apposition, and the mubdal minhu, the word to which it refers to, the word with which it is in apposition, is any relationship other than الشيء من الشيء, the same thing for the same thing, or البعض من الكل, some for the whole. Then if it contains any relationship other than these two, it is called بدل الاشتمال. وبدل الغلط, and the substitute of error. نحو قولك, like your statement, قام زيد أخوك, Zayd, your brother, stood up. So your brother and Zayd are the same person. So this is بدل الشيء من الشيء. Examples are in the same order as the concepts discussed above, which, as we mentioned in a previous lesson, is called اللف والنشر المرتب. قام زيد أخوك, Zayd, your brother, stood up. وأكلت الرغيف ثلثه, I ate the loaf, a third of it. So this is obviously بدل بعض من الكل, or بدل الجزء من الكل. This is a substitute of the part for the whole. You say I ate the loaf of bread, ثلثه, a third of it. You didn't eat the whole bread, you ate a third of it, but you mentioned that clarification right after you mentioned the loaf of bread. وَنَفَعَنِي زَيْدٌ عِلْمُهُ, Zayd was beneficial to me, his knowledge. So this is an example of بدل الاشتمال, because the knowledge of Zayd is not Zayd, and then it's not a part of Zayd. It is an attribute of Zayd. So any other relationship other than identity and being a part, we said was called بدل الاشتمال. So this is an example of بدل الاشتمال. Zayd was beneficial to me, his knowledge, meaning Zayd's knowledge was beneficial to me. You could have said it that way, right? You could have said ilmu Zaydin nefani, or nefani ilmu Zaydin, but then that will not be a bedel. That will be an idafe. But here it is expressed as a bedel, and this is a very authentic and natural way of speaking Arabic. Nefani Zaydun ilmuhu, Zayd was beneficial to me, his knowledge. وَرَأَيْتُ زَيْدًا الْفَرَسَ, I saw Zayd, the horse. So obviously Zayd is not the horse. So this is an example of the apposition of error, where he mentioned Zayd, maybe because they were talking about Zayd before, or he had Zayd in his mind, but he actually meant to say the horse. He just said Zayd in error. This is called بدل الغلط, the apposition of error. أردت أن تقول رأيت الفرس. You wanted to say I saw the horse. فغلطت. Subsequently you made a mistake. فأبدلت زيدا منه. So you substitute Zayd instead of saying the horse, and then you correct yourself by saying horse afterwards. Now, in eloquent Arabic, you will not have bedel galat, because eloquent speakers of Arabic will say what? Ra'aytu Zaydan belil farasa. Right? They will have a conjunction with bal. I saw Zayd, rather the horse. So they will use bal, but if the speaker is not eloquent, then they might have a bedel galat. This is the end of lesson number 14. Subhanak Allah'ın bihamdik. Neşhedü la ilahe illen. Nestağfirik ve netubu ileyk. Subhan rabbika rabbil izzeti amma yasifun ve selamun alel murselin velhamdülillahi rabbil alemin.